Even just looking at it in the decanter, it looks like a lot of German white wines, sort of light in body, almost straw color. We're not in this golden category, and not this super dark, deep color. It's much lighter. You could probably read a book through it. This is fairly common with German wines, cool climate wines, especially these varietals that grow in Germany. I do get a little bit of like a greenish tint to it, which almost looks like a neon green. This can also lead me into some varietals right away. I mean, I think traditionally when we think of a green tint, you might think of something like Gruner Veltliner, but in the world of German wine, we're gonna go with maybe like a Sylvaner. Sylvaner with an I or a Y. It's the same grape. I think the Y is just a little sexier though, so Sylvaner. And that's what I like about German wines. It really just like leaps out at the glass at me. That is just really beautiful. The first thing that comes to mind is this. I feel like I'm by the ocean. I kind of get this ocean spray, salty salinity, lemon lime Gatorade type thing that I really love. Almost like a flat Sprite. There is something lemon limey about it, almost maybe candied, almost a little sweet. And also something floral. There's something really pretty about this wine, like a bouquet of flowers, or like you're at your Nona's house and she's got this very particular perfume on. There's something homey about these kind of wines, and I really love that. You're not a sommelier until you make those disgusting mouth sounds when you take a sip of wine. Ooh, speaking of ocean, the first thing I get is like when you taste an oyster and you get this salinity and you get that really beautiful ocean aspect to it, you might also get a little bit of this like sandy ocean floor, something a little earthy, maybe something a little metallic about it. But I think this gives this wine a really great complexity. Considering that this is only my first sip and that was my first impression, this wine has a lot of layers to it. It's complex, but most importantly, it's just really delicious. The second sip, I like to think about these structure calls. So things like, my mouth is really watering, I can feel it. I also didn't have breakfast this morning, so that might have something to do with the acid levels happening in my mouth, but I think this wine is a pretty high acidity. So with these structure calls, high acid, pretty light bodied, it doesn't really coat my mouth. It doesn't really leave this waxy, oily component to it like some German wines do. I think like Grauburgunders or Pinot Gris tend to do that a lot. I'm putting this German wine, I'm assuming this is a German wine. It would be very mean if they gave me something else, but that's okay. I'm putting this more into the Riesling, Sylvaner, maybe Weissburgunder or Pinot Blanc category, something lighter bodied. I think we're moving away that like, thank God we're finally moving past this point of like all German wines are sweet. I think what really characterizes German wines is this acidity and how this acidity plays with, yes, sometimes the residual sugar, how sweet a wine is, but that's what makes your mouth water. And acidic wines are also super food friendly. So I'm gonna say Mosel, Riesling, Trocken. This is really good. And I think about, this is a young wine, and I think about great vintages in the past 5 years or so, and 2020 was a particularly good one. So I'm gonna call this a 2020 Mosel Riesling, and I'm gonna call it a Trocken. Okay, so it's the right bottle shape, which is a good start. Let's see how I did. Oh, okay. Okay, it is a Riesling. It is a Riesling Cabernet and Feinherb from the Mosel. It is vintage 2021. I'm 1 year off. I'll take it. I'm so happy. I think I get to keep my job, right? Perhaps like if someone like my mother were to drink this wine, they would think it's a little sweet. I really enjoy it. I don't know, I like drinking Sprite. I like drinking honey with my tea. Like I think it's delicious with a little bit of sugar on it. So that's just me. This was fabulous, really delicious.